So I know like this is as you are aware that this is a first session. 20 to 30 minutes we'll just go through each and every introduction, so that we'll be aware like how many people like are in and what is their background. As and then we get people from multiple domains, we'll have more things to brainstorm on some of the new activities or uh, any kind of theoretical concept or labs. When you try to practice, it'll be good idea to share your thoughts. Another 2 minutes. Be prepared with your self introduction. We'll start. We'll go with one after another. So another 1 minute. Sorry. Okay. Let me start with my introduction. Then we'll go with one after another. As you are, most of you are aware, like through some kind of ads or through some referrals or through some of my friends, you are aware of what exactly I was into. And then so for the people who are new, I'm giving my introduction. Just give me a minute. Okay. So you guys are able to see my introduction screen. Message me in the chat window whenever I ask questions.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm Hari. I'm working as a security architect in one of the MNC, and I have overall 14 years of experience in cybersecurity. Then some of the certifications or achievements from my side so far are, these are the 3 certifications Like first one is a certified ethical hacker. This will be provided from EC Council. Okay, this is a globally recognized board, EC Council. In case if any of you are planning to take up certifications, you have to get registered for the certification and clear that. Okay. Similarly, ECSA is a little bit advanced. That is also the same certification, similar certification from EC Council. ECSA is more of penetration testing, like how to hack some system or a mobile or some network. C is also in the same category, but it goes on on broad category, like multiple domains will be there. In ECSA, same domains, but you will go a little bit deeper. Coming to the next one, CISSP. This is mostly suits for architects or directors or even the CISO. In security, cyber security, there is a role called CISO, Certified Information Security Officer. That is equivalent to CEO, you can say. I think most of you are aware what is the job role for CEO, right? In any kind of IT organization, he is the head of the organization for any kind of decisions. Similarly, in cyber security, we call Chief Information Security Officer. So anyone with 10 to 15 years of experience, it is mandatory to have the certification like CISSP. We'll discuss this CISSP maybe at the end of the session in brief. So along with that, I started my career with manual testing. Okay, 1 year or 1.5 year. Then I switched into automation for another 1 or 2 years. In fact, this manual testing and automation testing, you might be aware like we can test any web application, we can test any mobile application, we can test even a standalone client application. So initial 3 years, in fact, though it is manual testing, I was involved in testing of security products. Like you should have heard firewall, intrusion detection systems, or antivirus products. So I was working in McAfee, one of the reputed security service and also security products vendor. So I have been working there from last 10 years. In the 10 years, as I said, first 3 years I was mainly into manual and automation. Then I switched into the ethical hacker related role, where I was testing these mobile applications, web applications from the hacking perspective. As part of this course, you are going through the similar content, like how can we hack the applications? Of course, you are going to learn the hacking, not to hack the real-time applications. It is just to protect the applications of your employer. Okay, you should not be misusing these skills, whatever you are going to learn through this course. So once I finished that's what I'm saying. And in entire 14 years, only first 3 years I was into manual automation and security. I completely switched into the ethical hacking related job. Right now, my role is as a security architect, where any kind of application, be it an application or a network or a mobile, I should make sure the entire application is secured so that no hacker can get into my application. So why should we protect the applications? Because that has some value, right? Any web application you take in your real time, or mobile application like Facebook, Amazon, Flipkart, or Paytm, or some gaming app, each and every application owner, they have to protect their assets. What are the assets? It can be personal details or it can be financial details like credit card information, account login details, OTP. There are so many things. Along with that, individual privacy also comes into the picture. That's what the cyber security job role is. In fact, within cyber security, there are diversified roles. It is not like single job role or it is not a single tool, but based on the kind of you are handling. Like if you are working on web, there will be some tools specific to web. If you're working into network, There will be some tools specific to network, similarly for mobile, similarly for Wi-Fi. So based on the category where you want to, where you are planning to work, we have to learn those tools. This will be fit. Even our course will fit for anyone who can, who wants to get into the cyber security between 0 to 8 years. Okay. After 8 years or 10 years, you should have the overall knowledge of cyber security from the architecture point of view. Okay. So this is about me. In case if you guys have any questions along with that, do message me in the chat window. I'll try to along with the session. So now let us go to you. Let us go to you. Who wants to go first to introduce yourself? So whoever is talking, just unmute and then speak. Other people, please go on mute if you are not speaking. Okay. Just we'll try to finish in 20-25 minutes. Right. So I see Sudhir. You want to give an
Yes,
introduction?
this is Sudhir Mupala. I have completed my BTech 2007. After 3 years gap, I have started my career in 2010 as a Informatica ab initio developer. That now I am into big data. So I am having 10 years of IT in this experience. That the big data is having more coding. So I am planning to move after several interactions with you decide to move complete domain shift to cybersecurity with the certifications complete. So down the line, so June 2021, I am planning to complete all the things. So I have to enter into as a complete cybersecurity ethical hacker.
Okay. Thank you, Sudhir. So just to reiterate, Sudhir has 10 years of experience into big data and also ab initio as a developer. So does that experience will be advantage to cybersecurity? Yes, in fact, there is nothing like when you talk about cybersecurity. So we are into database, we are into web application, we are into development, we are into testing, we are into architecture. You will come to know as and then we proceed with the sessions in the next 1 or 2 days. Okay, which are the areas where we concentrate. In fact, during this COVID time, I see like most of the businesses are affected except information technology. Okay, to affect or to have some impact on in IT, it takes another 1 or 2 years, you can say. Within the 2 years, if you get a vaccine or a medicine for COVID, then again IT will have a good track. So during this COVID also within IT, again cyber security is the only one which is like lot of demand, because I see some of my previous batch students, they have finished the course and they are trying for the job. At least 5 to 6 calls they get in a week. If you're thorough with the course, I'm sure just 3 to 4 calls are enough to get you a job. Fine. Okay, next. Who wants to go next? I see Suresh.
Yeah, this is right. Decide.
Yes.
I have completed my MCA after the joining in Sintel. I have 4 years of experience in Abnisio
Okay.
and SQL Server Linux also.
Fine, Suresh. So you are into you
Yes, I am interested. Yeah, interested to.
okay. So
Yes, sorry.
you have 4 years of experience.
Some network issues there. Yes.
Okay, no issues, Suresh.
Yes, 4+.
Hear you.
Okay.
4 years of experience into Ab initio
Okay.
to SQL. So we have
Yes.
data
SQL Unix.
hacking
Yes, yes.
related to SQL queries. That will be advantage for you. Okay, next.
Okay.
Thank you, Surat. Thank you, Suresh. Dinakar.
So, good morning, everyone. This is Dinakar. Currently, I'm pursuing my engineering second year in Bangalore. Side by, I'm trying for defense. So, my main motto is to get into cyber security. Is that like nowadays everything is converting into digital, and further, like future would based on cyber security, artificial intelligence mostly. And this course would be the perfect start to get into cyber security field. Thank you.
Fine, Dinakar. So you are a student, second year of graduation. and you are interested into army also. In fact, our cyber security course, if you have this course, it will be there even in police department. It will be there in the army also. So once you get a government job, there if you have this expertise, you can get into the crime department or investigation department. There will have the advantage of this. Okay. Next, Sai Ratna Tej.
Yeah, my name is Sai Ratnateja. I completed my BTech in 2018.
Okay.
I hadn't been into the software field yet.
Okay. You have finished your graduation and then this is you are trying for a job now.
Yeah, I'm trying for a job.
Okay. Just
So I want to learn cyber security so that there is a scope for it in the future. So I want to be in it to get a better job.
okay. Fine, Sai Ratna. So just to give few more details with respect to your job role kind of thing. You are a college passed out. So as part
Yeah.
of the course, when I say cyber security, you have to know what is mean by testing. That is manual testing. Along with that, you should have heard like I'm going to cover Java plus Selenium at the end of the course as a fast track batch. So you'll have an advantage of manual testing job roles, automation, Selenium automation job roles, and security testing job roles as well. Thank you, Sairat. Amulya.
Good morning, sir. I am Amulya, pursuing second BTech in Guntur in the domain of computer science. And I am interested to learn cybersecurity. That's it.
Okay, Amelia. This will be a good start for you. As I said, after college, you can easily get into a job. And even now, once you finish this course, maybe like if you can revise 1 or 2 months the same topics, and then we can get some more understanding of JavaScript or HTML. Along
Yes,
with
sir.
graduation, simultaneously you can try for bug bounty hunting. What is
Okay.
meant by bug bounty hunting? There will be some organizations between the ethical hackers and software companies. They publish the websites where you can test the application. If you can find security defect, you will get rewarded depending on the kind of severity you are trying to find. Like it can range from $50 to $30,000-$40,000 as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Amelia.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Next, anyone wants to speak? Arun Kumar.
Yeah, hi, this is Arun. So I'm a graduate in BE Electronics and Communication, and I have a total of 4.6 years of experience in IT mainframes.
Fine, Arun. So in fact, I am also from ECE background and my graduation is BTech. Okay. Even people who has mechanical or civil or non-IT, they can learn and they can get into cyber security. I had seen people who worked in defense for 5 years or 10 years and they got into the cyber security field. Okay.
Cool.
Arun.
Yeah.
Next, you can unmute and speak. I can see like whoever unmutes so that. Okay, Venu.
Yeah, hi. So good morning, everyone. So my name is Venu. So I have overall of 9 years of experience working on various domains. Like I started my career as a desktop engineer post completion of my post graduation. Then I got an opportunity in one of the organization as a cloud support engineer. So from desktop engineer to cloud support, where my roles were like building clusters there for one of the biggest cloud, then supporting the cloud like whenever we had failures in the data centers level. Then again we recently moved to an like I just wanted to change my domain, then I moved to again in a security project in the same organization. So I just wanted to understand the basics of the security and the hacking side. I just joined this course.
Fine, Venu. Cyber security, in fact, it will be, you can leverage your existing skills with respect to the cyber security training. As you see, like you have 9 years of experience in desktop, cloud, clusters, and even kind of some kind of administration if you are talking all these things. So we have to ensure all your assets. When I say assets, either applications or cloud applications or mobile or data centers, all has to be protected. Okay.
Yes, Hari. Yep.
Yeah. This course definitely will have more advantage for you.
So I'm more looking into this threat hunting side as well,
Yes.
just to understand the latest attacks or the techniques being involved there. So that's the reason to understand the basic concepts of the security. Join this course.
Fine, Venu. So we are going to cover all the basics of cyber security. After that, you are saying threats, right? Threat means something which is bad you can consider. So all these threats, we are going to have the theoretical part. Along with that, even the labs. When I say labs, I'll give you a target and then I'll tell you by using one vulnerability or one defect, you have to hack that application or server. So all these things you are going to see in our session.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Venu.
Thanks. Thank you, Hari. Yep.
Yeah. Ravi?
Good morning, Hari, and good morning, all. So I'm Ravi. Like I have 9 years of experience into IT. So right now I'm working as a consultant specialist for Exchange administration and Office 365 migrations. So I want to move into cyber security and cloud security. So that's the reason I'm learning this cyber security from the great Hari leader, sir.
Okay, fine, Ravi. Again, like Ravi has 10 years of experience into IT administration. Means if you get into any organization, you will work as one of the employee, right? So they will assign one computer for you. Okay. So what all softwares your computer should have? What are the policies? When I say policies, maybe if you are working in one company, they don't allow you to launch YouTube or Facebook. How these are managed? So these are managed with the help of IT admin people like Ravi. Okay. So right now Ravi is into mainly the managing of all the endpoints of the organizations, along with that some of the servers. So to extend that, if you can learn some of the security concepts like organization level, what are the different threats that can occur, what are the different security products that will be there in each and every endpoint or computer. Okay, fine. Thank you, Ravi. Next. Rajesh.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Rajesh Sharma this side. I am having 8-year experience as a IT infra support engineer and having a Bachelor of Engineering degree. Working with the Acla Technologies.
Okay. Fine, Rajesh. So you are working in the IT infrastructure or what is that?
IT infrastructure support.
Okay.
All like desktop support, network, cloud, and
yes,
voice.
yes. Okay. Fine, Rajesh. Almost like you might be familiar with computer networks concepts like
yes.
What is a switch, what is a router, how to configure LAN, and then where does the firewall or intrusion prevention systems exist, what kind of traffic it is blocking. These kind of things you'll be aware. So we
Yes,
are going to have more discussion on the same things. In fact, if whoever are new to this course, don't worry. We have to cover all these basics, like whatever Ravi is into, like computer networks or even the IT infrastructure. What are the different servers or cloud instances that Ravi and Venu are into? Okay, all these things we are going to cover in the basics in the first 1 or 2 weeks. If you have missed these concepts in your graduation or as part of your job role, we do cover that, because some people might be there from computer networks. Some people might be there from development background. So people who are into development background, they will be familiar with some basic coding, but they will not be aware of servers, how to deploy the servers, or some people might be in the database, right? But as part of our course, whatever is required for our cybersecurity basics, I'm going to cover all these basics from simple development. Not like you have to code, you have to understand the HTML, web technologies, and database you have to understand. Along with that, what are the different kinds of application servers or frameworks that it will be very easy, just like the way how a detective can start investigation if he has some kind of a case, right? Similarly, as an ethical hacker, we have to see all the possible ways of security issues in the target. Fine. Thank you, Rajesh. Who wants to go next?
Thanks, sir.
Padma madam, do you want to give some introduction?
Hello, Hari. Good morning and good morning to everyone. Are you audible to me?
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Okay. I am Padman Reddy, and now I'm practicing my law. Just I want to know the cyber security and other things which is related to my profession, and to save the, and it's the cyber law is the very most important nowadays. But I want to know all these things. That's all.
Okay. Fine, madam. So Padma madam is into law. She has around 20 to 25 years of experience into the law field, like where she deals with the district level all cases related to the police department or any kind of department. So what is the advantage of learning cybersecurity for people who has background of law? In fact, as I said, cybersecurity is not restricted to some field. You would have seen like some big organization, they file some case against a different organization saying like they tried hacking some of my data, or they say like they are using my code. For these kind of issues, they have to provide some kind of proof of concept like yes, they tried hacking our data, or tried pinging our servers, or some kind of proprietary data they have taken from our systems or code or servers. There comes up the picture of lawyers. Okay, even in cybersecurity, law is one of the category. Okay, if you have the cyber background, lawyer, then they only will be able to speak up, right? If without the cybersecurity basics, how can they defend their concept in the court? A person, for example, I have mentioned one job role as CISO, or even a director level also, or a person who has this CISSP background. People like them, they should know even how these lawyers will work, whom to interact. That's what I'm saying. Cybersecurity is a diversified job role. Okay, thank you, madam.
And okay, thank you, ma.
Okay, next. Who wants to go next? Utilize this opportunity to give us brief introduction about you. We are ethical hackers. Okay, we should not be scared or hesitant. Just it is a training session. Okay, you are here to learn, and one of the reason you are here is you don't know something. You want to learn something new. Okay, even if you are wrong in some, even entire as part of our course, I'll be asking you more questions. There will be quizzes. Okay, we'll start one simple kind of a brainstorming activity today itself. Let us see. That's what I want all of you to be expressive and then be interactive. Whenever you get an opportunity to talk, make sure you utilize that opportunity. Yes. Next, Anji Babu.
Yeah, good morning to all. This is Anju Babu. I have completed my BTech IT background. After my graduation, I did some non-technical job. After a few years, I got job in IT sector. Initially, I worked as a tester. After that, I entered into CRM. I entered as a CRM developer. Present, I'm not doing anything. I'm looking out for a job, and also I'm very much interested to learn about these things like security and these things.
Okay. Thank you, Anju Babu. So Anju Babu is basically from testing background and automation background, development background. So he has a gap of around 3 to 4 years, and then now he's want to get back to the IT again. Yes, in fact, if job, if you are good in the concepts, ethical hacking concepts, they don't look for the experience. That's what Like the reason is you can say like I was doing bug bounty hunting from last 3 years or 4 years. I was a freelancer where I used to provide support for some of the applications. Either I was taking money or not, I was doing this kind of job. If you want to test my cyber security or skills, you can ask me about any process, tools, whatever it is. That's what you have to proceed. Yes. Next, Sai Chala.
Hi Ari. Hi everyone. This is Sai Chella, and I completed my graduation in 2014 as a mechanical engineering. After the completion of BTE, I joined in non-technical side mechanical job. Ari, am I audible?
Yes, we are able to.
After doing my non-IT experience, then I later joined in recruitment operations side in one of the reputed MNC companies. Till now, I'm working in recruitment operations consultant. So I don't have any idea of the cyber security. So I want to switch my job role going forward.
Okay, thanks, Sai. So I see like you have experience in recruitment, right? IT recruitment.
Recruitment operations. I'll take care of the background verification.
Yes. Do you think any person from cyber security background, like a director of information security or chief information security, do you interact with them?
As of now, no, Hari, because I'll take care entire for different part of the background verification.
Okay, who
so
defines?
I didn't get.
Fine. Who defines like, yes, you are trying to recruit some people. You have to do background verification and you have to check their personal details, location.
Yeah, I'll do that everything because
you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
There will be some policies defined for it, right?
Yeah, correct.
So in fact, these policies are defined, or these would have come from. Again, it is from security background. I mean to say, Director of Information Security or Chief Information Security Officer. Maybe without your, maybe you have 5 years of experience, right? Maybe your boss would have involved in kind of discussions, similar discussions with Chief Information Security Officer or some person from IT security.
Correct. So one person of the IT security.
Yes. So can I say like, whatever the things you are defining will fall under administrative security?
Exactly.
Right. That's what. So cyber security, when I say it is into technical security, administrative security like HR, and physical security also will come under security related jobs. What do you mean by physical security again? So does anyone has any idea what do you mean physical security? Put your answer in the chat window. Let me see. Simple question, in case if you can guess, what do you mean by physical security for a IT organization? If someone are already working in any IT field or already worked, it will be easy to answer this. Managing physical assets. One example of physical asset. You can reply to anyone by making use of the chat window. Even though like I'm see like everyone are trying to introduce themselves by themselves, we try to learn some simple topics. Yes, I got one correct answer from Likit. Yes, ID cards, Venu, Abhishek, bodyguards. Okay, some examples I see are fire, natural disasters, again protection of laptops, like ID cards, identity and access management, then security guards, that's what Abhishek, pen drive, yes, exactly, servers. So all these falls under physical security. Assume like you are protecting your computers from cyber threats like hacking. What in case some person who is like a room cleaner, right? Some office assistant, he comes into the office and he directly steals the entire hard disk or directly steals the CPU itself. That is also kind of a hacking, right? You have to keep track of that physical security. One more example is your security guards, right? they make sure like first level of security is done. They will check whether you have interview letter or you have the identity card. Again, second level of security, physical security is identity and access management. Like if you are, this is kind of physical plus technical. If you are an employee, they will give you the ID card. If you swipe that ID card, if you are a valid person, valid employee, then only you will be provided access. Along with that, there will be some more physical security controls. As someone has mentioned, to protect from disasters, they would have kept some few things like cameras also falls under physical security. Assume like there is some smoke or some fire, immediately there will be some mechanism where the water will come up from some pipes. Okay, and even for identity and access management, you would have seen like these are things these are not part of your initial course. Okay, so it will be part of your advanced course. Just to give you some like to get some understanding of cyber security, I'm mentioning like it is not about only the technical part, it will be even about the physical and administrative part. So most of you would have seen these kind of pictures in your IT, right? You provide a valid ID card, it will give you access, or if you don't provide, and there will be some people will be there who try to do piggybacking, means someone swipes it and he wants to enter it. For those people like who wants to do these kind of things, they have a mechanism called turnstile, like it will allow only one person, somewhere like this. So only one person can go at a time. Okay, this is just a background about physical security. As I see like one person from IT recruitment was there, IT recruitment background. Some basic details. Okay, coming back to our introduction. Who wants to go next? If any of you has not got opportunity, speak up.
Yeah, hello. Good
Yes,
morning.
sir.
You may audible?
Yes, Anil, we are able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm Anil. I have done masters in pharmacy. I'm completely from non-IT background. Yeah, I have been working in medical coding field for 6 years. For last 6 years, I would like to learn cyber security management.
Fine, Anil. So
Thank
I
you for.
see like I agree that it is non-IT, but
Yes.
even from security background, there will be some job related to compliance. I see like you are from B Pharmacy or M Pharmacy.
Yeah, yeah.
Some compliance, right?
Yeah,
Some
yeah. I know
compliance.
compliance. Yeah.
So compliance means you have to agree some of the rules or policies whenever you try to ship some product, right?
Yes.
Similarly, even in IT field, if there is an organization, there will be some policies like ISO 27001, GDPR, or PCI DSS. Like if you are using credit card, there will be some policies you have to follow. And if you are making use of some data from America, there will be some policies you have to follow. Or in India, if you are making use of some of the applications from China, they also has to follow some policies of Indian regulatory. So these all will fall under complaints. So does anyone are aware like we have restricted some apps from China saying like they are not compliant to our policies? Can I get one example of the application in the chat window? What are the applications we banned from China saying like they are not following our data policies? I think you are aware of this very simple question. TikTok, WeChat. So in the initial stage, we banned it. Now even US tried banning those apps. And all of you are aware like why everyone are trying to ban Chinese applications. In fact, that is one of the reason, because whenever we try to do business with any of the other companies or even other countries, there will be data regulations you have to follow. DU Battery, TikTok, Shane. Yes, exactly. So many applications, around 30, I guess. They have banned it from our side. And again, US, they started with 1 or 2. Let us see how it goes. That's what, like, cyber security is very vast, and also it will be interesting. Whatever you see in your real time, for example, mobile, from day-to-day activities, you use mobile, Facebook, money transfer, or you try to interact with some unknown person. You get a call. Sir, we are trying to reach out to you. We are from your bank, icicibank.com. And you got some offer of 50,000 rupees. We are not able to find your address. Can you please give me your address, sir? They say. So initially they try to have some conversation with you, asking for basic details. You feel like, okay, this might be a legitimate call, valid call. You try to provide your address details. In fact, the person who is like a hacker, they are not trying for your personal details. Just to get started, they'll say like, you have got 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees of amount, and we'll send you a check. Please send us your personal details. Then they'll tell the victim or the person. In general, if you get a call like that, definitely you'll try to answer like, yeah, something like John Smith and so and so address. Fine. Next day again the same person calls you. Sir, we are not able to dispatch the courier to you or the check to you. The reason is our courier partner doesn't have the ability, or they don't have the services in your location. But there is another option, sir. We directly credit into your account. Only thing is, you will get one message. You have to tell me one number in that. Okay, like that they try to interact. They represent like, they try to behave like a support guy from some bank. They'll try to, in fact, the victim will get a message. It will say like, the OTP you have asked for this one is so and so. That's it. The moment the victim shares the OTP, in fact, the attacker might be already having the username and password for the banking account. He needs the OTP to initiate the transaction. These kind of tricks will be followed. And also these kind of attacks are called social engineering. Okay. For these kind of attacks, you don't require. Yes, already I see like Dinakar replied. He had seen some person asking like that. In fact, there are so many fraud calls like this. I guess all of you have experienced the similar one. So who has to take care of these things again? Security administrator. If you are working in some IT organization, they might be sending some mails like, don't accept any kind of, don't click on the links from unknown people. This might be phishing attacks. Don't share any kind of information, sensitive information to outside people without asking for the authentication. How can you identify the website is fake or not? I see one question from Vijay Naga. Vijay Naga, I'll try to answer your question in the next 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, we'll have that in this first session.
Okay, Hari.
If a website is fake or not, we'll do that.
Okay.
From Vijay, right? I do remember. Okay, there's a reason. In fact, even in the matrimonial site, like you can see some people, they say like, we are from UK or Italy, and then I want to marry you, and then I have the property of 2 crores or 3 crores. Only thing is, I'll ask my parents if they agree, and I'll come there and marry you, they say. One girl. Okay. Then some person, like if he's like very much desperate of getting married to an American or Italian, they'll say like, yes, he agrees to her, and then agrees to get married. They'll start some kind of initial conversation. Finally, what will happen? This is the real incident I'm saying. The lady said she has reached the Delhi airport. Customs department, she said like, I'm coming to India. I have sold all my property in UK. That is worth 3 crore rupees. I'll come there, both of us. That's what the message conveyed by a lady to a guy in India, that is in Karnataka. This guy believed it, and then she said like, she's coming to India, and she reached Delhi, and again she called to this guy. Okay, I reached in Delhi. there are customs people, they caught me, like I have to pay around 40-50 lakhs to release this 3 crore rupees. What will he do? He had paid it, that's it. After he paid the money, the mobile got switched off. So these kind of attacks are called social engineering attacks. Let me see if we have this. I remember this incident. If it is there in the news. Tikbalapur lost money. Okay, Italian woman does Bangalorean man for 33 lakhs. Okay, just we'll read like 1 or 2 headlines on this. Again, 45 years old man lost 33 lakhs while searching for true love. So that's what will happen. This guy is 45 years old. I think that guy was divorced and he was looking for a marriage through matrimonial site. He got introduced to some woman and then she used to say like she is willing to offer true love. That's it. This guy, 45 years old guy, he got the money through loan and then finally all that money he transferred it to that woman. Okay, just 1 or 2 headlines we'll see. We'll not go too much deep into it. We have a session on social engineering attacks. 40-year man loses 33 lakhs while searching for love on matrimonial site. Okay, maybe you can go through these links. I'll share you these links in your free time. See what kind of attacks can happen. So as a security administrator, you should make sure your employees doesn't share any kind of sensitive information related to your company. Okay, you have to check for the authenticity of the person whom you are talking to. And these are all like non-technical attacks. Okay, who wants to go next about the self-introduction? I see Sai, some person. Are we done? Anyone wants to speak up? Another 5 minutes. Yes, Sucharitra.
Sir, I'm Sucharita. I completed my BTech in 2020 in EEE department.
Okay.
I'm interested to learn cybersecurity. How can I learn it? In which stream I can excel?
Okay. Though you are from EEE background, so cybersecurity, you need not require a deep understanding of coding, but understanding of technologies. Okay, databases for storage, and HTML is to present the data, and programming is to develop coding is to develop a program for an application. Again, coming to computer networks, okay, the data will be sent in digital form. This kind of basic understanding you should have it in all the fields. And whatever the initial.
Hari bro.
Yes.
So Sucharita did some Python coding. So is it helpful to in this cybersecurity concept, diversified?
Yes, Sudhir. In fact, so the way how you can make advantage of Python is, in the first level of learning, you learn about how to make use of the cybersecurity related tools, how to test the application from security perspective, how to protect the network, how to protect the asset. In case if you want to define your own, these are called backdoors, basically. Backdoors or payloads, we call it in security terms. Like basically you have to generate a simple link. When the user clicks on that link, you have to get a remote access of that system. Basically, you are going to hack some of your friend's system or some target, right? So generating these kind of URLs, backdoors, you can do it by yourself instead of completely relying on the tools that are used by other person. You can come up with a new script or new tool kind of thing. Definitely, it will be added advantage for you.
Okay, sir.
Along with that, there is a concept called source code analysis. Developers will follow that. They scan the source code and try to find security defects. So, but analysis will be done by the security engineers only. So you can be part of that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Chitra. And Abhishek, I see.
Yeah, hi everyone. Myself over here. I have completed my BTech in 2K14, and since then I'm working in the IT industry as a QA engineer. And coming to the part of the cybersecurity, I wanted to learn because a lot of threats we do see while we are in the IT industry. We get the mails, we get the phishing mails, all this kind of thing. So just I wanted to know that how it works, how we can protect ourselves, and all this in and out of it.
Okay. Fine, Abhishek. Already you are into testing, so this will be like an added advantage to learn cybersecurity. Lot of growth is there, and there are like multiple paths are there. Once you finish this course or within this course, I can explain you how to go ahead and how to excel in your career. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, sir. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Likith, we are able to hear you.
Sir, my name is Likith. I am completing my BE in computer science in current year. I have already placed in a company for a software engineering training, but I want to learn cyber security because I want to develop my career and growth in cyber security. That's why I'm learning, and it also helps to protect my data. Also, it is very important in the today current trending world.
Yes, Likith. I see like already you are placed, so job is not a concern for you, but you work with respect to your passion, right? So that's
Yes,
the like trying to learn cyber security. Okay, once you finish this course, there will be a lot of opportunities within your organizations where security, cyber security role will be there. Get into that. I'll show you like what different opportunities or the job roles that can exist in any kind of organization. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. I'm Vamsi.
Go ahead, Vamsi.
Sir. Sir, actually, I have completed my BTech in 2020. This
Okay.
year. I'm very interested in cybersecurity. So, I didn't get any job. As I'm a fresher, is this valid for freshers, sir?
1 second. Yes, Vamsi. So,
Sorry,
you have seen like some of the job opportunities related to manual testing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you might have seen some more job opportunities related to automation. They say like web application automation using Java, Selenium.
Yes, sir.
And have you heard of some job opportunities like API security testing or API testing, services testing? So, so all these job opportunities you can try. Whatever the things I have mentioned are apart from cybersecurity. Again, coming to cybersecurity, just because you have asked the question, and even some of you are asking like, what are the different jobs I can try once I finish this course?
Yes, sir.
Just
As a
simple.
fresher.
Yes, if you have not seen this deck, I'll be able to see the screen, right?
Okay, sir.
These are the different job roles you can try in any IT organization with the help of our course. So SOC Analyst is there. So every concept is useful for it. Only thing is extra one tool. Learning a tool is very easy if you know the concepts. Again, network security engineer is there. Penetration tester, web application penetration tester, we call it VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. These job roles are also called security testers or security testing. Endpoint management. I already see some of the people who had worked on this background. Endpoint management, right? Ravi and Venu and few more. I don't. Okay. Asset management. Also some people work like one person has 10 years of experience. He worked on cloud clusters, desktop applications. Okay.
Sir, it is useful for freshers, sir.
Yeah, of course. If you have this kind of knowledge as a fresher,
Yes, sir.
definitely like compared to other people, you'll have an added advantage, and lot of requirements are going on. Definitely, it will be useful.
Yes, sir. So for understanding this course, we need to know any networks like CCNA and security
Okay.
before.
In the top of this pic, what did I? Computer networks, OS basics, web technologies, basic programming. Not like you have to develop a code; you should understand it. And cybersecurity basic concepts. After these basics, then we'll get into actual hacking concepts. Right?
Yeah, okay, sir.
See it here, right? Web application, web servers, networks. When I say wireless, like Wi-Fi routers and devices. So directly, if you want to learn about hacking techniques without knowing what is meant by database, what is meant by web application, HTML, we need
Yes, sir.
to understand these concepts. So, in general, if you are trying to take similar training from any other institutes, these basics, okay? As part of our course, we are going to cover all the basics that are to be a complete cyber security analyst or security analyst.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. If you want to learn the similar course from any other institute, you have to pay separately. Computer networks, you have to take training from one person. Web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js, AngularJS, all these things again you have to learn separately from some other trainer. Basic programming, Java, one more trainer.
Yes, sir.
Like as part of our course, the trainer is only me. Okay, I'm going to cover everything end to end.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Question?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Next. Anyone else want to speak up?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Lohit.
Myself, Lohit. I did my BTech in mechanical engineering. I have worked for 6 years as a maintenance supervisor. Now I have decided to change my domain, so I am interested in cybersecurity.
Fine, Lohit.
Yeah.
Though there is a gap, don't worry about that. What I would suggest is go through the course.
Okay.
After the course, revise all my videos.
Okay.
I'm going to give you all the recorded videos to each and every one of you. And you can keep it forever. There is nothing like any time limitation for it.
Okay.
Yes, if you have missed some of the sessions, you can re-attend those sessions later some point of time. All advantages are there with us. Even once you guys get into the job, if you say like we are stuck at some point of this issue related to network or related to some kind of web application, I'll be there to guide you, whoever it is. Okay.
Thank you.
In case through bug bounty, if you guys try to find out 2 or 3 issues, then that will be an added advantage. Fair enough. Next. Are we done with everyone? Another 5 minutes. If you want to speak up, you guys can speak. And later.
Sir, recently did you attended any webinar that associated with NITK? Actually,
No,
I heard your name, Hari. Yes, sir.
He might be some other Hari. Because
and also from McAfee, that Sebastian Bascond, Mayank Bhatnagar sir also speak on reverse engineering and analysis of binaries. That's why I asked you.
Okay, Likit, got it. So basically, those people are from McAfee. That's what you are saying.
And also, I heard the name Hari sir. I think.
Okay, there might be people from McAfee. The reason is there are so many job roles. When I say reverse engineering, this is more related to the malware, viruses, worms. Okay, so as you know, like McAfee provides antivirus product. Might be some or other person. 3 years back or 4 years back, I resigned from McAfee. Total 10 years. I'm analyzing all these viruses. As initially mentioned, I worked there, but in fact, that seminar I didn't attend. Okay, no.
Sir, okay, sir. Thank you. Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? or else some people has replied in the chat window. I'll read that in case if you don't want to speak up. Another 2 minutes in case if you want to speak up. Make use of mic and then tell about yourself, or else I'll go through the chat window to introduce some more new people. Along with that, 1 or 2 questions I got it meantime. I'll try to answer that. So anyone wants to introduce? Try it, basic details if you want to tell about yourself. Okay, let me read in the chat window if anyone has replied through this. Shabaj, okay, Shabaj has experience of 8 years and BTech as a graduation from computer science background. Shabaj, do you want to make use of mic and then speak up? Okay, no problem. I'll read it out. And the last position you have held is consultants. How can I explore and switch career into cyber? Okay, no issues. Shabash. Last question is planning consultant. How can I explore and switch career into cybersecurity for better growth? Cyber forensics. Okay, once you finish this basic CEH course, there are multiple tracks. Forensic investigation is one of the track. So you can take up that course as well if you want to get into the forensic investigation. Okay, fine. Next is Bharat Reddy, pursuing BTech final year and interested in cybersecurity. That's it. Only 2 members has replied through chat window because they have some issues with the mic. Fine. Any more thing? So far, like, thank you everyone. Like, it is really good to interact with each one of you from different background. Okay, I see from testing, automation, development, big data, and then compliance, then IT recruitment, and also from the law course, forensic investigation, IT admin, IT management, computer networks. That's the reason, that is the magic with respect to cyber security. Anyone can learn this course. And in fact, once you learn again, it is very diversified. You can take up any of these opportunities: physical security, technical security, and administrative security. To begin with, up to 8 years, you have to go with technical security only. Okay, as a director or as a CISO or as a kind of manager, then you need you have to work on this broad knowledge of cyber security. But from 0 to 8 years, in case if you are searching for the job, that's what I'm mentioning. You have to be familiar with these concepts, whatever you see in the screen. Operating system basics, computer networks. So what are the things we are going to learn as part of OS basics? So you have to know how to operate basic computer, how to see services, how to check for registry, what is not only in Windows, in Linux, how to play with files, how to execute some kind of executable application, how to download something, how to list the files, how to make use of cyber security related tools. In fact, for our entire course, we are going to use Kali Linux. Okay, so Kali Linux is one of the flavor of Linux operating system that is based on Debian. This will come up with thousands of security testing tools. So I'm going to configure a setup like this in all your computers, so when I say Kali Linux, this is attacker system, hacker system. So I can hack any application by making use of Kali Linux. All tools will be there within this operating system. You need not install any new tool on this. Okay, that's what you are going to learn as part of OS basics. The next thing is computer networks. What is that you are going to learn as part of computer networks? You are going to learn what is meant by IP address. What is meant by external or internal IP address? What are the different reference models of computer networks? OSI, TCP. What are the different layers? How does TCP communication happens? What is meant by router? What is meant by switch? So all these things you are going to learn as part of computer networks. In fact, the similar core structure will be there for CCNA. If anyone has done CCNA, or if you have heard of CCNA, the entire course structure is based on CCNA here. So there is no need to take again CCNA course. We are going to cover all the basics in our cyber security course itself. The next thing, web technologies. You should have heard some of the job roles like front-end developer, AngularJS, right? So you need not develop a code, but you should be able to understand simple concepts of these web technologies, like what is meant by HTML, how are those tags are defined. Okay, that will cover as part of a training. The next thing is, once you learn these three basics, then we'll get into the cyber security basic concepts. What are these cyber security basic concepts? You should know what is meant by asset. What is that you want to protect? What is meant by a threat? What is meant by vulnerability? Yes, Kiran, yes, also. Cascaded style sheets, okay? Sorry, coming to the cyber security basic concepts. That's what, like if you get into some IT industry, what are the security testing terminologies that are used? All those things we are going to cover as part of basics. You can see in this picture. So where does the hacker is? And this is basically how your network infrastructure of any organization looks like. So we'll come back to this picture later. So once you are familiar with these basics, then we'll learn the hacking concepts, how to hack a web application. Hacking doesn't mean directly try to get a remote access. So in fact, there are multiple ways of hacking, and the risks means business impact, or there are multiple concepts. We'll cover that in the tomorrow session, what exactly we are going to learn as part of hacking. Today we'll do a small exercise based on this, okay? Fine, because I saw one question from one person asking like, how do we know whether this website is fake website or a real website? That we'll try to cover today. Along with that, you should know the software process, software engineering. Just because knowing the tools or knowing hacking will not be helpful for the job. You should know how to interact with your customers, when to do security testing, what are the tools, in which phase of software development lifecycle you have to use security testing. I'm sure like if you are already into manual testing or automation or even development, all of you are familiar with software development lifecycle, right? Then throughout SDLC, what are the security services we can provide? Security testing or cyber security is not only for the network, it is even for the application. Okay, that we'll discuss that. Then bug bounty hunting. So what kind of issues do you see in bug bounty hunting? How to prepare for that? How to register for that? All those things we are going to cover as part of our session. So the last one is freelancer. I don't recommend freelancing. The reason is you work as a freelancer. You are not sure whether again you get the money as part of that contract or not. So if you are getting into a job, every month you get the salary. If you are getting into bug bounty hunting, you try to find some critical vulnerability, you will be paid for it because you are registered with some intermediate organization like BugCloud, HackerOne. You can get registered to them and try to find security defects for thousands of applications. Freelancer, yes, you can do it if you have a trusty service. I mean to say, some person or some organization whom you trust. Okay. Then Java programming also I try to cover. Selenium and DevSecOps. You should have heard of the job role like DevOps, right? What do they do? Instead of manually you are trying to build the code or trying to try to copy the build from one location dev environment to testing environment, or manually trying to invoke some security some automation test cases, all these things will be managed in DevOps. As part of DevSecOps, we are going to deal with the tools, some of the security tools with respect to the DevOps tools like Jenkins or Azure related DevOps. We are going to integrate our tools. This is our course curriculum. In case if you have any questions, do message me in the chat window. By the time I get into one more concept. Okay. One question for all of you now. Okay. One guy has asked me a question, one person. He had asked me how to know whether a website is fake website or a real website. In fact, to check for these kind of issues, you have to depend on some certification authority provider, digital certificates. Okay. So any reputed organization will provide digital certificates. If I ask you, for example, this is a website, simple testing website. This is, there is the URL of this website is alphamutual.com. I click on sign in. So as a functional tester or a manual tester, I'm sure you would have tried, you have to test this login feature. Okay. Can you guys list me how many issues right now you can see just by looking at the website? I am asking you, how many defects can you list me just by looking at the website? Or you can try even the login attempts.
Well, it's an unsecured website, Hari. It's not secured. It's not using HTTPS as a protocol.
Yes. Your name?
Venu here. Venu this side.
Okay, Venu. It is an unsecured website. Okay, what else? Can I get some more answers? You can consider. So Venu has replied it is an unsecured website by checking the URL. Coming to the login feature, do you guys see any security issues? In fact, if you want to try, you try to launch this application in your computer. I'm trying to send the URL. I am asking you, try to log into this application. How can you log in? I don't know the username. I don't know the password. Can you guys try to log into this? I give 3 to 4 minutes of time. Try it.
So bro, it looked like somewhat phishing page.
Phishing page. Okay, that is one of the answer. Assume like this is an existing application. For example, I'm a Facebook user. Maybe like Venu or someone is a Facebook user. I don't have a Facebook account. I'm just launching facebook.com. I click on sign in. So it will prompt for username and password, right? So how can I log into that application though I am not a user for that application? These kind of issues, you get it as part of a cyber security engineer, especially for a security testing job role. You have to validate the application. You have to test your application from testing perspective. Okay, I'll give you one clue. The username is admin. Can you try to find out the password for that? Don't worry in case if you are not able to answer. The reason is this is the initial session. Don't know the techniques of hacking.
Admin is the password again.
Okay, how did you come to know that?
Just gave it try.
Okay, it is Venu again. Okay, Venu, you worked for 5 years or 10 years in IT management?
Well, it's 9 years, Hari.
Yes, that's the reason you are familiar with default accounts.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay, experience matters. Yes. So admin and admin, I'm sure you'll be able to log into this account. Similarly, this is called basically insecure configuration of applications or infrastructure. You can find hundreds of applications in internet. If you want to try it at your home itself, you might be having some router. If you are using some Airtel router or Geo router, all these routers will have default username and password. Okay. If you want to connect to some Wi-Fi network, try with always default username and password. Or if you get a login with the default site, like there will be like it will be having default IP address, something like 192.168.1.1 gateway IP address. You will be able to access your router. Anyhow, in case if you are not able to follow these concepts, simple thing is either your mobile or any web application or any device or computer, the administrators or the owners, they would have not paid much attention to the default usernames and passwords. That is one of the trick. In fact, this is a very basic one. There will be some more vulnerabilities. Okay, basically weakness. When I say vulnerability, it is a defect. One more, okay, I think around 10 people has replied. It is not using HTTPS. Okay. So I see Sai, Dinakar, Likit, Sai, Rajesh, Amulya. You are saying it is not secure, not web, not secure. How are you able to see that? Because it doesn't have that lock pad and it is a HTTP website. If it is a secured website, it will show some kind of certificate details it would have got. So I see admin. Okay, instead of admin, you consider any user, any username and password. Can I get one username and password where I can bypass the login? Think of it for 2 minutes.
Like administrator, can we use that, Hari?
Okay.
As username.
I don't think it will work. Administrator and administrator. So if you have the system, if you log in using, if you are connected to the session using a laptop, you can try it from your end.
Okay.
I think this is a free website, testing website. In fact, it is a banking application. I can directly give the answer, but I want you guys to think, then try it.
Sir, is there any query, SQL query?
Okay. What is that query? I want that specific query. Like it.
Sir, I think select star from username or true.
No.
Like that.
I want the input to be given in the username field and password field.
How about root, Hari?
Root?
Yeah.
I don't think it will work. You have laptop, you logged in using mobile or laptop?
I just logged in using laptop only. I just tried, but I don't know the default password for root. I just gave as a password.
Try it in case if you are able to succeed, or else. So there will be around 30 to 50 common vulnerabilities for any web application or server or network. Okay. So now for this exercise, I'm going to try one vulnerability that is related to SQL injection, we call it. So to understand this concept, anyhow, we'll have a 1 or 2 days session completely on SQL injection, how to attack that. Just to give you some example, what is that you are going to learn as part of this course, I'll explain this one. Have you guys gone through these Boolean expressions or, and, nor in your graduation or as part of your job? I'm sure at least.
Yeah.
Boolean operators, right? As part of that, maybe you would have come up with a condition like, if it is like 1 is equal to 1, is it true or false? Put your answer in the chat window or audio, whatever it is. True. True. That's how it works. Coming to the OR operation, for the OR operation to be true, what is the condition? At least 1 should be true. That's what the OR condition, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I will put some expression like or 1 is equal to 1. The right
Yeah, it is true.
Always true. In case if you have the query in your web application that gets executed in the database, So we are trying to make that query to true such that your authentication gets bypassed. Both username and password, let me try to give this, see what is going to happen. That's it. We logged into the admin account. This is called SQL injection. In fact, this is a basic SQL injection. There are a lot of different techniques are there, like in-band, out of blind SQL injection, all those things. So this is one of the vulnerability that can exist in any web applications. So, which will allow this kind of bypassing. Okay. So not only for login, maybe like you might be trying to get some account details. For example, I go to my account. Okay, view account summary. Okay, right now I'm not getting any parameter is equal to value. There also, maybe in the URL, you have to get something like parameter is equal to value. There also, we can put, once you provide this kind of true conditions, it will, instead of listing you your own account details, it will list you all the account details that exist in the database. Okay, we have a practical on this. We'll do cover as part of that lab. Okay, one more thing. So many of you have replied. This website is HTTP or not secured, something like that. What is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, in HTTPS, our personal details like account number, CVV, all that are encrypted and sent securely to the servers. But in HTTP, this is not done. The man in the middle attacker can easily directly get our personal details like CVV and account number in HTTP.
Okay, you are saying if it is HTTP, someone can read your data.
Man, sir, directly read the data.
Yes, directly read the data.
HTTPS, the thing is encrypted.
Okay, fine. Any more answers? You guys can either make use of audio or put it in the chat window. Answers.
So HTTPS, like S in the sense it's more secure, more encrypted when compared with HTTP. S is more secure, which has got SSL certificate.
Okay, fine. Certificate. You have mentioned certificate. That is a new thing. Anything else? Yeah, that's what. Basic difference is you are trying to communicate between host to host or server by using encryption mechanism where your data gets encrypted before the data leaves your system. Okay, that is before your data gets into the network, it will be encrypted, and when it reaches the server, it gets decrypted. There are multiple ways of encryption and multiple algorithms are there. This is very important concept, HTTP and HTTPS. In tomorrow's class, we'll discuss about what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, and what is meant by client server communication. What is the client there? What is the server? What is your understanding on that? The reason is, it doesn't matter whether you're a developer, tester, or big data. You should know like how this application is constructed, how the server is configured, what are the major building blocks of the server, right? Without that, you are just simply, you are a developer, you got some module, you are trying to code it, that's it, your job is done. It should not be like that. You should know like what is the impact if your code is not programmed well, or if your application is hosted in some other server, what is its impact? Okay, we'll discuss about the client server communication, HTTP, HTTP, and all those things. Before we end up, I need all of you to put your Gmail ID in the chat window. I'm going to share this video to everyone. For that, I need your Gmail ID. Post your Gmail ID in the chat window so that you'll get this video. Not only this video, in the next 2 weeks or entire course, whatever the videos those are getting recorded. You will get these videos in that shared drive. So for that, I need your Gmail ID. Make sure you share your Gmail ID. Yes. Guys,
You can hack the application.
Suresh, can you repeat? Your voice is
You
breaking.
can hack the any type of
Yes, go
some
ahead.
network issues there.
Yes.
You can hack any type of web application. Na?
Yes, Suresh, any kind of web application can be hacked. Only thing is, we should find some vulnerability, or vulnerability can exist in any manner. It can be from the code, or it can be from the software that is there in the system, or it can be the server itself. Okay, that we'll discuss in maybe after 2 or 3 sessions. What is meant by vulnerability? Where does this vulnerability exist? How it is going to help the attacker or the hacker? Fine. So everyone replied with your Gmail IDs. Make sure you reply. I think late. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to message me in the WhatsApp group. Whenever I'm free, I try to reply that, or we'll discuss in tomorrow's session. Make sure you are sharing your Gmail ID, or else you will not get